The concerns over food security, it's a global issue. The world's population is currently at, I think, 7.7 billion people. That fact alone suggests that we need more food.
And we need to be conscious of how we are managing that farmland on into the future to feed the billions of people on this planet.
If every one of us makes a little change, it's going to have a huge impact on everything that we do.
HNRG is a global manager of food systems. We're contributing to the food security issues. We do it by making sure that we manage agriculture and food systems sustainably.
Having the privilege to work for Hancock Natural Resource Group allows me to participate in managing forests, which are the lungs of this planet, and thinking that I'm not doing just good on those few pieces of property that we're working on, but that it's contributing to the well-being of the planet.
Forests that are not sustainably managed are unhealthy and are not going to be around for the future to provide the benefits to society that they do today.
The models for predicting when a tree would bloom, 10 years ago those models were really tight. Today those models can be off by as much as 2 weeks. To me that's an indication of the way climate change is really affecting the habitat here.
We manage the farmland and the forests, but we also are caring for the water and the wildlife on these properties.
So different wildlife needs different types of habitat, and so the habitat we provide is in many cases not being provided on our federal lands adjacent to us. But a variety and a mixture is what really has a resilient and a sustainable ecosystem for all species.
Climate change is the carbon accumulation into the atmosphere. We're very pleased that we are able to manage a renewable asset that actually takes carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere and stores it into the wood fibers and root systems of our forest. If you look at our track record, just last year we took over 2.1 million tons of carbon out of the atmosphere, which is helping the planet battle climate change. In addition, we support carbon markets, and we have sold over 4.1 million tons for offsets for emitters of polluting carbon.
So with climate change, there's a lot of talk but not a lot of action, and I'm encouraged that there are things that individuals, corporations can do and do right now, and frankly we shouldn't be waiting around for the government to tell us what to do or how to do it. There's things that we can do and don't need approvals to do it.
We manage biodiversity by knowing what it is, and we know what it takes to manage that ecosystem for the biodiversity of the plants and animals to persist.
I think diversity in any system is important because the system relies on the synergies of the other parts. And if you don't have some diversity in there, if one part fails, it makes the entire system fail.
We as humans need to think about that long-term perspective of sustainability, and all of those are weaved in to what we do as stewards at HNRG. The well-being of our employees is of utmost importance to us, and we want to provide them the tools to be able to have training and support so they can thrive at our company.
We believe it's important to engage with the communities in which we operate. As an example, in our operations in Chile, we actually have crews that work on the forest that we help develop. These people live in and around our forests, and we believe that there's community involvement is a very positive aspect.
I think one thing that people don't know is rural areas deal with a lot of poverty. That's something that family wage jobs that the natural resource economy provides really supports these communities and are critically important, and having a sustainable forest that can do that long term are very, very important.
So sustainable agriculture to an investment organization like ours allows us to make investments in land for the production of food. Doing it sustainably is allowing us to either increase productivity or make something that may not have been sustainable more sustainable for long term.
Well, one of the things I see is the amount of waste that happens, and if I pick apples off of this tree, probably only about 85% of them are going to make it in front of a consumer because they don't meet the quality specification. If society could start to accept the fact that, hey, that apple's not perfect, but it still tastes good and it still nourishes me, in some countries, they'd be happy to have that fruit.
We're always selective on our investments, and we talk about water as being necessity for agriculture, the importance of water, and if you can't put the right water in the right place on a piece of property, then it may not be the right kind of investment for us.
This uses a lot of water to get this done, and it's not efficient, but now we're going to drip irrigations. That moisture never is exposed to the air without being in contact with the soil. Going from this to that, I think, is about a 20% reduction in our water demand. All of that is what the industry is doing, but definitely what Hancock is doing.
So the Triangle Tea Ranch in California is an interesting place that we've been able to put cutting-edge thinking into water. So we take excess surface water and we figured out a way to recharge it and store it underground in the aquifer so that when the drought comes, which is a natural cycle, we have the ability to continue to maintain agricultural productivity in a sustainable manner without depleting that groundwater basin.
You know, the next step is to start utilizing technology, soil moisture probes to see how full the profile is, a system that monitors where you are and can help you decide whether or not we need to turn a pump on to put water out here. I mean, just starting to evolve technology into the system is a big step.
The future for H&RG and for our mission as a company, I think, is very compelling, and we can play a role in terms of set an example for being good stewards of the environment. And again, I think that there are numerous examples of things that we're doing right now where we are taking steps and you are seeing results, and I expect these trends to continue. So for me, the future for the company and the future for the environment, I can be hopeful about it.
We think we can be a part of the global dialogue on sustainability to help lift everyone and what they do in their little part of the world to be more sustainable. It doesn't take big actions, it takes a lot of small actions by everyone to be able to move us towards those sustainable development goals. And we're trying to do our part, and I think if everyone did it, then I think we can get there.